Jubilee is my favorite shit. Love some Jubilee. They was frying Jubilee the other day. Cause they had like some type of I don't know who they had. People were interviewing in there. But I fuck with Jubilee. Damn, that's glazing. I mean unlike that.
I'm comfortable showing affection to other black men.
What they mean by affection?
When you come from the hood, you can't tell another black man what's up, or you can't, that head nod is beef. So like giving a head nod to another black man can start beef, could start something that, could go automatically left. It's imperative that we, the new generation, the young generation, we embrace one another, because we as black men, we identify with the trauma that we've all encountered through our lives. And sadly, we're our biggest enemies. So yeah, I strongly agree we should show each other affection.
Oh my God, I found the cheat code. I found the cheat code to looking at niggas for more than half of a second. You mean? So in Philly, you know what I'm saying? I'm Muslim. So in Philly, you look at a nigga for a split second, he gonna ask, is you good? He's not checking on your mental health. You mean? He's checking your temp. You feel me? So it's like, if a nigga say you good, it's over with. At that, you gotta look at him, nod, I'm Muslim, say, Assalamu alaikum. You hit him with that jaw, everything turned friendly. Like, Walaikum assalam, he gonna shake your hand, you feel me? You can smile, take a deep breath, walk away. You feel me? I learned that shit easy, bro. Easy. At first, I wasn't one of them niggas. I look at you, head nod, put my head down. I realize you can't go wrong with agreeing, bro. If a nigga violate me after I greet him, that's between him and God. You mean? So you gotta throw that out there. I just peed. Shout out to me.
Actually, disagree. The prompt was, do we feel comfortable? Like, do us individually feel comfortable showing that affection to black men? I moved from strongly disagree to disagree because I do feel comfortable with some black men showing affection, but there was an entirely different generation before me who was very hard on their black sons. My dad's generation was like, you got to be tough, you have to speak a certain way. So me coming into the picture, who's a lot more sentimental and affectionate, was completely shunned. My dad was like, your voice isn't deep enough, you're too skinny, you need to eat a burger. Growing up, that made me feel really uncomfortable with certain black men to show that type of affection.
You need to eat a burger.
Whereas other people of different races, I was like, oh, I can be myself, because they don't care how deep my voice sounds, or they don't care how much I look like, because they literally don't care. When I think about my dad, I wish that I could think of this loving, warm memory, but I don't really have the fondest memories of him. I remember when I was playing basketball when I was 4, or baseball, my dad was like, oh my gosh, and I also look at the pictures when I was young and I would see him like kind of hold me in those kind of warm moments. I would say the shift of our dynamics changed when I started to really step into who I feel like I was called to be in life, and it didn't align with his visions. He wanted me to go D1 in basketball and to be this aggressive force. And when he saw me stepping into more of the artistic, being openly gay,
Hold on real quick. All right, where would I stand? I feel like I would stand. No, somebody working in my kitchen. I feel like I was. I feel like I would stand. I'm gonna keep. Am I comfortable showing affection to black men? I don't know. I'm gonna keep it a being. I don't really speak, so I don't care to show affection to anybody. But you mean? I would say no, because I feel like if like, all right, bet. Let's say I step in the hood, right? I got my select few niggas. this random nigga come up, try to say what's up to me. Let's say he don't mention me. Let's say he don't acknowledge me at all. He don't say nothing to me. I'm not finna say nothing to him, cause I probably won't feel comfortable saying what's up to him. Niggas call that shit dicky. You don't even know this nigga, but you saying what's up to him, that's low key dicky. So yeah, I think I would be uncomfortable, but I wouldn't strongly disagree though. It'd just be like, I disagree a little bit, like, you mean? Cause it really depends on who you run into. Some niggas be cool, some niggas don't be. But I don't know. I feel like you gotta be a certain type of black person though. Like you gotta be able to mesh with different type of people. The county, the hood, suburban, the city. You gotta be able to mesh to like really have a genuine standpoint on this situation. Cause it's different for everybody.
I think that it kind of shifted his perspective, and at the end of the day, he's not a bad guy. Like, he is a wonderful human being. It doesn't change the fact that I love him regardless.
If we're talking just purely like personally, I've been privileged to not have that experience. My family is really close-knit. My dad's always shown me a lot of affection, and then that's encouraged me to show that same type of affection. My cousins, we have extended family, friends, etc. I feel very privileged in that regard. And I mean, I'm open to giving hugs. I like play with my dad's ears. I'm 38 years old. I still do that.
Nah, playing with his ears is crazy.
I wish I had that experience too, because I know what you're talking about, and I'm like that. Like, I'm very warm and huggy feely. And my dad, when he gives people hugs, or I've seen a lot of other black men from the older generation, what they'll do is they'll be like, and I'm just like, ow. And one of my cousins literally goes, ow, that like hurts.
So I am over here at strongly agree, because when I was being raised, my father made sure that he showed me affection. I remember there was a time where he kissed me. Another family member said, "You kiss your sons?" And he goes, "Yes, I do." And I hug them and I love them. So that is how I show them love. But of course, me being a little insecure growing up, I did not show affection at all. And when I had 2 kids of my own, I tried really hard to be able to get through that, to be able to show them affection like as my dad showed me.
I wanted to speak to your point that you made.
I wanted him to speak. Because now I see what's going on here. We don't have enough niggas. We got black men, no disrespect to my brothers, but we don't have enough niggas from the hood. Like, based off of how the person on the left spoke, and then the person with the blue shirt and then the green shirt, how they spoke, I feel like they don't really have that experience, gang. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like the affection in the household is different from the affection in the world, gang. Of course, nigga, my dad showed me love like no other. Nigga, that's my best friend. I call my dad right now, he answered. But, like, I feel like we're not talking about family, though, nigga. We're not talking about family. We talking about black men in the general. You mean? I feel like of course they had a lot of love showing in their families. But I feel like main man in the back, I feel like the nigga with the beater, low-key, make more sense. Yeah, we're not talking about family. Like, family gonna show you love, with the exception of main man standing on a disagree. You mean main man, like, family gonna show you love, my nigga. You family, especially if you from a certain area in the world. 9 times out of 10, that's all you got. But I just feel like they basing it off of family. They're not basing it off of a neighborhood or an area.
I think it's important to recognize that maybe a lot of us on this side also were raised under the same conditions of masculinity, meaning you don't say I love you, you don't give hugs, you don't embrace one another. You're supposed to know that I love you, right? But I think times have changed, and I'm a black father now, right? My daughter's 7 months old, like, thank y'all. And being a black father, it is our jobs, as you mentioned, to set the standard for what we want these future generations to, how do we want them to move, how we want them to react, and how we want them to engage with one another. I think times have changed where we can give one another a hug. We can, say, hey, I love you, because life is short and we don't know when our last moment will be with our brother, our cousin, our neighbor. So it's important to pour into it. And I hope to see you slowly come more on this side one day.
Question, do you feel like most people watching this video will agree that times have changed and that most black men do feel like they can open up, or do you not agree?
I don't agree that everybody feels that way. I feel like it's a slow progression with anything. I'll give an example with my fraternity brothers. When I originally joined my fraternity 10 years ago, it was very masculine. What's up, bro? Like, you know what it is. But now we may get off the phone and say like, I love you, brother.
Oh,
have a great day.
sweet.
Keep pushing. And so I would say we're not there 100%.
Yeah.
But I see more and more. I love this visual of us getting closer to agreeing.
Even to add on to that though, like,
low key, I give Brody a hug. You mean? It depends though. It depends on how long I've seen you, how close we are. You mean? But you don't just give a nigga a hug though. You don't be like, yo, bro, what's up, bro? Hell nah. We ain't doing that. You started off with a dat, bow, hefty dat. You mean? And then calm low half a second hug or like a 1 second hug. Say, what's up with you, bro? But that's probably as emotional as it's gonna get. The only person I hug longer than that is my dad. I ain't hugging no nigga longer than a second and a half. I ain't gonna lie. You mean? That's it though. He talking about fraternities. I don't know nothing about that. I ain't gonna speak on that. I don't know nothing about that.
Of us getting closer to agreeing.
even to add on to that though, like if I'm just thinking back to my dad's generation, who's like, he is significantly older, like there has been a significant progression from that I've very like demonstratively seen, like in terms of even his growth, like over my experience with him, and knowing like stories that he told me about growing up and like his childhood, and like he had to be hardened in that way, because like, I mean, literally growing up, he was chased by the KKK as a kid, and like he couldn't show that kind of like emotion, because that was weakness, and that was something that could like, you know, endanger his safety and the safety of his family. But I do see people opening up more, like black men opening up more overall than like that, you know? And so that's what makes me feel like progress might be slow, but there is progress, you know?
I like that.
I just want to piggyback off what he said. It's up to us to break these generational curses and stuff. So I had a rough childhood. I really didn't have my father in my life. I don't know who he is. So like everything I learned, I had to learn on my own trial and error. Yeah, like it's kind of hard for me to open up too far because my trust kind of messed up. My mom was murdered when I was 3.
Damn.
And I never knew who my father was. So my grandma took custody of me first. And then once I became a teenager, my aunt took custody of me. Seen a lot of things I probably shouldn't have seen at such a young age. And going through stuff that grown men couldn't even deal with. It was a lot. I'm learning as I get older, you know, that it's okay to be able to open up and show love and, you know, let people in.
Oh yeah, I just want to add like some of my testimony. Growing up like with my dad, that's probably like the most I've ever interacted with like a black man. Honestly, just like most people I have in my life are like black women. And like as a child, I grew up as a girl, so I'm trans, if anyone didn't know that, hey. So he showed me, thank you, brother. So he showed me like a lot of affection because I was like his little girl, right? So like he would tell me I love you, I'll get kisses tucked in bed, like just like princess treatment for real, for real. I transitioned at 18, so like I started presenting like this, right? You know, I started sounding like this, I just looked like a man, and I did feel like a shift in how he treated me. Like I realized that like, okay, now we're really like masculinity to masculinity, like it just felt different. Like I didn't get as much I love yous. Transitioning at such like not a young age, but during high school, I think that's like a really pivotal time in my life. And the biggest struggle I had to deal with was honestly like family. Feeling at home in my body is the easy part, like this is fun, but just navigating family life, especially being a black person and navigating life with African parents and all that, that was the hardest part.
I have a question.
Nigga could have fooled me. Shit. I thought that was a nigga from the rip. I ain't gonna lie. I thought that was a nigga from the jump. Nigga could have fooled me hefty. I mean, the drip, okay. The only thing that could have threw me off was the drip, my nigga. That shirt is fucking outlandish. This nigga living like the different strokes times. But other than that, damn. No, nigga in the back got a testimony for sure. Nigga in the back got a crazy testimony. Never knew his dad. Mom killed at 3. Family member to family member. Basically, he a foster kid. So him teaching himself how to love, that's hefty. You mean, we clap it up for that.
So you mentioned that shift happened when you were transitioning.
Yeah.
Do you feel as though the shift was your dad now treating you as you wanted to be seen and as you walk through the world?
Yeah.
Or do you feel like there was maybe resentment or some untalked about, feelings that went along there?
Maybe both. I think that he came from Nigeria and he came to America, so I feel like he's adopted like the American mentality, all like the toxic masculinity, things like that. Like just how he interacts with other men is maybe not as affectionate, so I can see where he gets that from. So now that he is like seeing me as a man, I get that too. So like I'd say both, yeah.
I allow myself to be soft sometimes.
Depends. It depends.
Yes, this world it's not a place for soft people. If you want to run a business in today's economy, in today's industry, there's no room for soft people.
There's a spectrum, right? There's like soft, and there's like also where you have to be hard. There are times where I have to be blunt, and then there's times where I'm talking to my team like, did you guys watch Family Matters and Blastoise and Pokemon? And then there's times where
Are you doing that on the clock?
Huh?
Are you doing that on the clock, or possibly there's a break?
I'm doing that on the clock, and it's served me very, very well. So like, I understand what you're saying, because I feel like a lot of times black men are taught like you have to be hard all the time, but look where it's gotten us,
Yeah,
like truly. And like, but whereas I see other black people who are in high positions and they treat people with kindness, whether it's business or not, and doors fly open for them. So there's a spectrum. It's not just being blunt all the time.
And I want to hop in right there to your point. At what point are you soft? So I think about, I'm soft when I get home. When I'm decompressed,
Yeah, of course.
clothes off, my wife is there, my daughter's there. I'm not coming in like, you need to be doing
I'm
this.
coming smoking wood, kicking it, laid back. But
You
when I
should've
get
smoked
into that
out.
door, nothing is going past me. So being soft, I'll pinpoint it to soft in business. I use my platform to do things for others that I wasn't even able to do for myself at the time. In that sense, I was being soft and I was being open, and I wanted the best for everyone and everything. It was so frustrating to me. I mean, it cost me my sanity. And so I realized like being soft and having a good heart don't take you nowhere but stepped on.
I just want to say, like, I agree with both of them, but speaking personally for myself, like, that's why I'm at somewhat agree. Like, I'm coming out of there where, I strongly disagree to be soft, and now I'm like learning how to be soft, how to open up, when to be hard, when not to be, you know what I'm saying? So really learning myself and who I am from within, like what I stand for and what I believe in, and that's pretty much the foundation, and then I kind of like go off of that to like, open my wings and stuff. I know for a fact, like, I'm supposed to be a statistic. Like, with my upbringing and everything I went through, I wasn't supposed to live past 25. I was the first one to graduate in my family, and then I went to college. So, just try to keep pushing the envelope, in a different direction.
I find that.
Yeah, we like him, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, we fuck with him. We like him, you mean? Everything he's saying, he really not supposed to be where he is at all. You mean? At all. But he makes it shake. No excuses. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, damn. Okay, a nigga that's too soft, you get stepped on all the time. You feel me? But I mean, it's never really a good thing to be soft. You can get robbed. You can get scammed by your own friends. You can get played by a shorty, cheated on, take it back, cheated on, take it back, cheated on, take it back. But being too hard, my nigga, I feel like you block your blessings. Like, it's motherfuckers that's brought into your life, situations and scenarios that's brought into your life for you to ease up. So if you never ease up, my nigga, you think anybody gonna want to be around you? I don't want to be around a hard ass nigga every day. Nigga, if we go to an amusement park and we get on a roller coaster and you look at the next nigga like, that nigga look at me, I'm about to beat him the fuck up. Nigga, I'm not standing next to you no more, nigga. You mean? So it's like, I don't need no hard, stone cold ass nigga around me all day, every day, my nigga. That's gonna ruin the vibe. How you supposed to have fun around a nigga that just act hard all the time, my nigga? A part of softening up is also letting yourself go, having fun. You mean? I don't know. That nigga tells him he not gonna joke on the job. Most of these niggas go to work because they don't got that shit at home. Joke on the job might keep a nigga alive. Shit, you never know.
Maybe this is just my definition of being soft, going through life with like respecting, kindness, and just like generosity, happiness. I find that when I'm being soft, I'm much happier. The people around me are much happier. I have my third feature film that I've directed is about to come out, and I'm nice to the crew. I don't treat people disrespectfully, and doesn't mean that you don't hustle. Doesn't mean that you don't like try to go for every opportunity. So yeah, I felt very strongly about this prompt that you can easily navigate life as a black man, being soft. I think that we need to actually normalize that way more.
No, that I can't let that. I mean, I respectfully, but it's a privilege to be soft. When you come from what we come from, like to have parents that can provide where you're lacking, yeah, I can be a little softer.
The definition of soft, like what you think soft is, may help better understand like the prompt itself. Like what is soft to you?
Being pushed, a pushover. Being soft, that means this, like it's 2025. You're telling young black men to be soft. You're pacifying
that wasn't the prompt though.
That's what I'm getting. Like, yeah, you can get through life. You can be smooth. No, you can't.
I hear what you're saying. I don't think that you have to compromise your masculinity in order to be soft. And softness is not for everyone. It's for my family, for my wife, not every single person.
I'm sorry if I said it wrong or if it came out wrong. I believe you are beyond talented and you've done exactly what you need to do to get in the space and the field that you're in. But I think what I was speaking to is you are blessed enough to have a successful father that's there. Without that father there, the young black kid has to be strong.
I have a friend who came up from like way lower than I did. Like, I mean, he was struggling. He didn't have a father figure, nothing. He's way more successful than I am right now. He has a family. He lives in a $1.7 million house. Like, he worked his way up there, and he is
it's all about what you do with your shit.
Softest people. He treats everyone with.
So main man right here blacking out, right? Main man on top of me, no Diddy, blacking out. But you got main man right here. No dad, no mom, no way of getting support in the agreement section. So my nigga, don't say that you need a mom and a dad to know that. I mean, to have to be soft or to earn your softness. I don't even know what the fuck that means. How do you earn softness, nigga? But yeah, don't say that, because that don't make no fucking sense.
Respect, kindness. He got there, like, he's still like a very like masculine, like driven person. And maybe our differences are in what softness is, like our definitions of softness. But I feel like he is the definition of a soft black man. And he has reached these heights, and he is demonstrating that now for his 2 young children. And that's the kind of person I want to be. And I feel like that is possible to do. I've seen it.
I have a strong male role model.
I'll start out. Yeah, I definitely do.
He confusing me. So, all right. So your male role model is telling you to be hard in business, be hard on life, be hard on everybody around you. Just never be soft around the people you love. That role model might have to be replaced. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna wait to see what he gotta say. Main man in the tank top. But as far as how is this going, what he's saying right now, that nigga might need to be replaced. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, my dad is an incredible role model. This is like one of the great privileges of my life. I was adopted into a upper middle class family. My dad is one of the like top urologists in the country.
Oh wow.
And he's like focused on, thank you, thank him. He's focused on prostate cancer, specifically in black men. An incredible role model. I aspire to be as great as him one day. So.
My dad, I feel like for me, he's so like inspirational that I also kind of feel like I'm not letting him down, but just like I got big shoes to fill, because like he just got his PhD last week and we flew out to Georgia for that. Like he's taking care of me in all aspects, so like I can't ask for more, to be honest. So I got my dad.
I'm totally shocked that I'm actually really happy that I'm the only one over here, unfortunately.
Yeah, PhD is
I
hefty.
resonate with
That's
so
fire.
much what you said. I was a child prodigy in basketball. I got a college tennis scholarship and hit up against Taylor Townsend, Donald Young. I have played classical music, I'm learning Italian, and I work for a great company. But the goalpost was always moved. That relationship with my dad and hearing those things, or going to basketball tournaments and winning and being like, well, you didn't score enough for the team. Dad, we won. Like, I scored the most points. I got the most rebounds. The goalpost was always moved. And he was a D1 football player and he did really well in life, but
He got
being
one of
the
the
son of an
movie
athlete
dads.
who also gives you the same name, the bar is a bit higher sometimes.
I would say I agree, because much like you guys, my parents just worked hard, and I turned 26 this year, and this is the first year my father told me, I love you. I come from Ethiopia, right? Specifically, it's called Badia. And the Badia, the people of the Badia, they're so indoctrinated into their beliefs. Masculinity is something that's a part of their DNA. They don't put sugar in their coffee because it's too feminine. Anything sweet is feminine.
I smack the shit out of a nigga that say I can't put sugar in my coffee. Now I like my shit extra sweet, nigga. Fuck you talking about, nigga? A nigga see me pour coffee in my sugar, pour sugar in my coffee, nigga, and nigga got the nerve to call me feminine. He gonna feel how masculine these hands really is. This shit going like fire to your face, nigga. You tripping? I wish a nigga would tell me I can't put sugar in my coffee, nigga. Why do you drink this shit black? I'm not drinking nothing with hot and tasteless, gang. Hell no, niggas is crazy. Niggas is crazy as shit. I don't know what dad he got. That nigga would have been smacked like fire. He would have got literal belt to ass. Gang. Niggas can't tell me I ain't putting sugar in my coffee. No way. Fuck you. Yeah, alright.
Masculinity is something that's a part of their DNA. They don't put sugar in their coffee because it's too feminine. Anything sweet is feminine.
So I'm guessing niggas don't eat pastries. Niggas don't drink juice. Niggas don't eat apples. Okay? Niggas don't eat fruit. Niggas can't drink a smoothie. You mean? Niggas don't drink milk. Niggas don't drink soda. I'm assuming. What else? I don't know. God damn. I can like, bro. Nigga, I hate to be from. I'm not gonna say I hate to be from anywhere, because it's different around the world when you ain't experienced shit. But I don't know. You're making Ethiopia sound like goddamn hell. Ain't looking too good for them over there.
So they drink coffee bare. So just imagine being able to vocalize I love you to your son. That's never been a thing. My father has loved me his whole life. He's worked 17-hour days for 26 years, so I'm pretty sure he loves me.
Yeah, he showed you.
You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I would say I agree in that sense, but where I say I don't necessarily have a role model is in the sense of dealing with my emotions. Like I'm 26 years old, and nobody ever taught me how to like deal with my emotions. So even to this day, I struggle with it. We're all just carrying it around, just walking around with it. It's crazy to me.
I want to piggyback off something he said.
Now everything he say makes sense. Now it makes sense. Alright. You got a nigga that never told you he love you. You can't even eat a goddamn pastry without being called gay. Your parents haven't really been around. You see, you're working 17-hour days. That means 7 days of the week. Which means you probably only see them on the wake up. That's if you sleep in 8 hours a day. You mean? You probably see them on the wake up. Or when you about to go to sleep. You feel me? So, I get where you coming from. He needs some TLC. I ain't gonna lie.
I just want to say this, and to everybody else who have a father, like, at least he was there. Like, I never had one since I was born, so, like, all of these things I had to learn on my own from, like, the women in my family dealing with different men. You learn what you can while they're around, and then they gone. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's a whole, it's a show.
I do want to say one thing, though, to that. Like, I hate that your father wasn't there, but sometimes I feel when people do bring up like at least your father was there, it kind of diminishes the experience of the person who did go through it, and one is not higher than the other.
I get what you said. I didn't mean it that way, but I get what you're saying.
They're just two different walks.
I moved from strongly agree to somewhat agree because the question was, you know, you have a strong male role model. I feel like I didn't have an individual who was the role model, but I had to seek out who I had to look up to for whatever it is I was trying to accomplish. But when I was standing on Strongly Agree, although I do have a lot of positive male role models that I've found throughout high school, all the way up into college and thereafter, my dad wasn't in my life because he was incarcerated. So he's always in and out of jail. And I had to kind of navigate manhood on my own. And my mom did what she did, but I think that it's important to realize that you need the dad in the household to teach a boy how to become a man.
So I feel with what you were saying about, like, even though my dad gave me a lot of tools and he worked really hard and he instilled that within me, I feel like my 20s and up, it was like, you better figure it out. And like when you're in a state by yourself, nobody is coming for you. Like when you go to bed at night, nobody's coming for you. There's no one to call.
Feeling alone and not having someone to call is something I feel like a lot of younger black males experience. And my nephew, I am a role model for him. And I realized not having a father in my life, I now have to step up to the plate to be the role model for my family, for my wife, for my own child now, and that's setting the tone. So in college, I got up to like 360 pounds. And I've lost over 177 pounds naturally.
Yeah.
So it's like I teach my family, my friends, my network how to be healthy mentally, physically, emotionally. So somebody who maybe knew me 10 years ago may not recognize me now, but I now have to step up to be the men that you all are giving your credit to in the future.
I've had to code switch both professionally and personally.
Everybody should be on there.
I've had to code switch professionally and personally. When I say personally, I think about situations maybe where I've interacted with police or authorities, and I wanted to present as an upstanding citizen of society, you know, as I'm sure we all have had to experience. And then professionally, I think it's important to identify and recognize yourself as submitting the best work possible and being the best version of yourself possible. So when I do step in a professional space or I am at work, I'm very mindful of how I present. And a lot of times when we have to navigate institutionalized oppression, how we dress. If I'm a white male, I come into a job interview in blue jeans and a white t-shirt, I still may be considered for the job. But if I did that, I am a thug, and all my merits, my education is stripped away. So I know I have to dress up better. I know I have to present, and I have to make sure that I'm articulating my words so I can navigate through society and life.
Can I back you up for a sec? So I'm over here because I suck at code switching so bad, and I'm just like, I'm not even gonna do it. So that's why I'm in the somewhat disagree category, because I tried it, I'm really bad at it, and it just doesn't work for me. And I figured I'd just rather be my authentic self going into the rooms. If they like me, they like me. If they don't, I can't change that. But I agree with what you said, because I work in corporate America and I have not seen too many black men in my space. And there was a particular instance where I was in the office, I would go in a lot, and I'm usually pretty close with like the directors of the company. And a black guy was coming into the office. He's from Africa, I can't remember where. And he had his hair up in like, kind of like a different hairstyle, whereas mine is short. And so one day I came into the office and I saw that he shaved his hair. And I went up to him and said, "Why did you change your hairstyle? I liked what you had." And he goes, "I saw how you would come in and how you would dress and what you would wear and how you were best friends with the directors of the company and how they interacted with you." And he said, "I shaved my hair because I want to be in the spaces that you're in." So I agree with you, because I realize that like I'm working at these big companies and I can count on one hand how many times I've ever seen a black man literally either on my team, and I've been in the business for over 10 plus years.
And I want to speak to that point.
I feel like that's a racial thing, though. I feel like that's a racial thing. Like, a nigga see locks and automatically think you would like you a dumbass nigga. That's racial, gang. Or any type of hairstyle besides a low buzz cut, you mean? Or a clean cut or a baldy. That's racial. You feel me? OT though, to what he talking about, low key, I feel like the best thing that ever happened to me was getting out of the hood, bro. Cause I feel like experiencing different walks of life, maybe I was able to code switch like crazy. You feel me? Like talking to different people, learning different experiences, shit like that. I think this is one of my favorite things about myself, bro. Like I could step in the hood, and niggas know, you mean, I'm from the hood. But I step in the county and I'll be like, damn, I didn't even think you was, feel me? Like I feel like that's one of the greatest things, bro. You mean? Cause niggas don't, you don't get profiled. Like niggas don't check your temp. They don't profile you. They automatically think you cool. It's the fucking best thing ever, bro. You mean? I'm not gonna lie. Some people do struggle with that shit though. Like my older brother, that nigga, I know that nigga struggle bad. I don't even talk to him like that, but I know that nigga struggle bad when he, you mean? But I just feel like that's one of my superpowers. You mean? Cause it's like nobody question me, and I don't have to wear no crazy ass suit and tie with a button up or some khakis. My nigga, I can wear the same shit I wear every single day. You mean? Sweatpants, shirt, Nike shirt, a tech, whatever the case may be. I feel like when you can code switch properly, I feel like what you got on really don't matter. You mean? The only thing that'll make a nigga look at me crazy is my hand tag. Other than that, it is what it is. I mean, everything. Yeah, exactly. We do speak a certain type of way. I think, yeah. I feel like the one thing that make me uncomfortable is when I'm speaking to a certain type of person. Like, if I'm speaking to a white person from the hood, it's like, all right, bet. I know you, you know me, we know what's up. If I'm speaking to a white person from the county, you could be either way. You can go either way. I mean, you could be diverse, you could be like on a far suburban end. The only person I gotta be calculated with is the white person farthest on the suburban end. You mean? Cause like them motherfuckers be the type to profile you based on anything, based on your hair, based on your tattoos, based on how you dress. So it's like, all right, bet. If I know I'm speaking to this type of person, let me dress this type of way, let me act this type of way. Not acting out of my body, but you mean you code switching, like, all right, let me be more professional. Let me, you mean, if I need a cap, let me put a cap on, certain sneaks, certain pants, shit like that. But like, otherwise, it's just cake. Like, I feel like it's one of the easiest things to do when you talking to anybody else other than the person that don't know your way of life. To put it into simple words.
Point as well, because that's just a prime example of how we exemplify and we're setting the tone and standard for everybody in the company.
Yes.
Or everybody that comes in
Yep.
in the future or who's already here.
Speaking to that, I will say like my parents made a very clear point to like raise me like right away. Like this is how you have to carry yourself in society. I do think it was coming from a place of like wanting me to learn like you're not going to be perceived the same way as people that are lighter than you. Like I went to a predominantly white institute like from preschool through literally like high school, and they like I had to
that nigga Michael C. Jackson
that like throughout my entire life. You know, it's just a lot of times people would, you know, they'd say it in like a joking way, but like they'd be like, oh, you talk, you know, you don't sound black, or you know, I don't think of you as like a black person, as though that's a bad thing. But then I'd have like on the other side of things, I'd have black friends that came into the school or that I knew outside of the school. Like sometimes they'd call me an Oreo because they thought that I was too white. And so it's just like all these like weird, I never was able to kind of find like this place where I fit in, it felt like growing up. But I think that as a result of that, I kind of became a little bit of a chameleon, and code switching became very like intrinsic and just very natural for me to be able to switch you know, how I'm speaking to, you know, given whatever group I'm in.
Yeah.
He can't code switch in the hood though. Code switching, listen, niggas don't really know what code switching mean, man. You mean you can't code switch in the hood though. Code switching is like, all right, I can talk to this white person like this, I can talk to this black person like this. You can't go in the hood and talk like this though. You mean you can't go in the Betty and then talk smooth like on some calm shit. I feel like that's real code switching. If a nigga from the trenches go in the suburbs and blend in, that's code switching. I don't think these niggas know what code switching is for real. You mean besides my nigga in the back with the do-rag, that's it.
Yeah, I moved because we've just labeled it it's not code switching. It's called being professional. And I was cussing since I was a kid. And if you go to any inner city across America right now, guess what them kids are doing? Cussing. Guess what they're gonna grow up doing? Cussing. Then they're gonna be professionals. They're gonna be adults. They're gonna have to conduct themselves in society. And that's tough because when you've grown up cussing, using your own words and slang and all of this, you call it code switching, but it's just being professional. Because I could kick it with the homies and we kicking, and then I get a phone call because I run a hip hop platform and I'm looking for sponsors and whatnot. Then I got, hey, how's it going? Yeah, amazing, totally. So we're looking at approximately this, and that. And then when that phone call, yeah, we finna go over here, we're gonna grab some shots, we're finna grab lunch. Yeah, it's good, I'm gonna catch you. But that's just professionalism. There's no such thing as code switching. The Asians don't call it code switching. The Mexicans don't call it code. It's not code switching. It's called being professional.
You adapt into your environment.
Yeah, that's what
fire.
That's what I meant though. That's what I meant.
It's just the ability to adapt, and it's not easy. It's a learned skill. You know what I'm saying? And it takes time. And just like you say, we come from the trenches, and then you know you got to go and sit in a professional setting. You got to be able to switch it up. But yeah, you got to learn it. You know, as you go, it's a learned skill.
Or we, as voices in our community, need to tell the younger generation we shouldn't have to code switch.
Right.
You shouldn't need to be saying. Shouldn't need to be having to come up out of that. This should be natural. Like this brother was saying, you just sound like you were raised properly. You don't sound like so you don't have to change because your parents taught you how to enunciate your words, how to properly use vocabulary, subject, predicate, all that stuff. So you don't have to, hey, my and speak in broken English. So you were raised properly. That's dope.
I appreciate that. I hate that we're even kind of talking about this in a way because what happened to like Black excellence and just, you know, articulating our words and speak, because when people look at us and the person who speaks articulately in the room, they're like, oh my gosh, you sound white. But this should be the standard for excellence regardless.
So I switched.
I feel like saying sound white in 2025 is crazy. I think it's proper, but motherfuckers do still say that. But I'm not gonna lie, this is the first time in this video I strongly agree with a nigga standpoint. That nigga is dead ass spot on. Tank top. I went from, I don't know what the fuck he talking about, to damn, man, really spot on for real. Yeah, he got me. You know what I'm saying? I'm sold.
I'm from strongly agree to some degree because I suck at code switching. Like, I'm really not good at it. Like, and then of course when I go into a black space, they're like, oh, you sound white. So I went to college, 19 years old, and I was like really super duper excited. You know, actually in that college, they give you your roommate's information before you actually meet. So I called him on the phone and I was like, hey, I'm your new roommate, Justin. I'm super excited to like meet you and be roomies and it'll be great. When I got to college, I got there first and then he came into the door and he stopped and he said, oh, I'm like, yeah, I'm Justin. Oh, what?
Oh, no.
He's like, I thought you were white. And that ended that friendship because after that I found out that like he wasn't quite the person that you know he said he was. And I also identified as LGBTQ openly, and he let people into my room to gay bash me. So here we are. It was disempowering. It was very scary. I've never been in that position before. Like, it was so intense that I needed help after that.
That's true.
But the thing is, of course,
that's true,
who I was kind of living with wasn't really pro LGBTQ at the time. So I didn't feel like I could be comfortable with telling any of my relatives about what exactly happened to me in college. And so I kept that in for a very long time. And a lot of habits, bad habits, came from that traumatic experience. And, you know, I've dealt with them through therapy, thank goodness. And I excelled. So, yeah.
Someone in my life had the talk with me about the police.
That nigga's tough. Yo, why that nigga running, gang? Why is he in a running stance? Yo, he's getting me teed, bro. Yo, that's the bid. Let me say something before niggas even say anything about this shit. Alright. Do I think all cops are bad? No, my nigga. Do I think it's some bad corrupt cops that mess it up for everybody? Yes. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with every single fucking thing. Like, do we think all white people bad? No. Is it some white people that mess it up? Yeah. Do we think all black people bad? No. Is it some black people that mess it up? Yes. You mean, like, it's the same song, gang. Me, a cop pull up, gang, I'm not running. Why am I running? And I got nothing going on. That's what they teach niggas. They teach niggas. Now, if you just sit there and you just run into a bad cop, my nigga, you just run into a bad cop. You know what I'm saying? It's no telling how that's gonna go. But should you have ran? No, because nigga, let's say that bad cop is really on some type time. You run, now he up the blick and blow you down and blow your ass down. You mean? Now that's a different type of argument if you in the streets and you got some shit on you. If you gotta run, nigga, my nigga, make a run for it. But I feel like I've always been a civil. So this is my argument. I've always been a civil. So you mean if a cop pull up, gang, I'm not running. Obviously, I got rights too, so I really don't gotta hand my ID over. You don't gotta check my car. You don't gotta walk in my house. You mean unless you got some type of warrant. But like, my nigga, why make myself look like a target when I'm not? You feel me? Now the situation that you run into, it obviously is different. But I'm just saying, me personally, I never ran into a bad cop. I always ran into a good cop. But it's different for everybody. You see on social media, it's different for everybody. I never wanna know how they feel though.
Someone in my life had the talk with me about the police.
That nigga,
oh my gosh.
Nah, let me start that off, please. So this conversation is it's so important, right? Because naturally, if you're a fan of hip hop, it's the police, the pigs. Now you're 16 years old, you have a permit. Your favorite rapper been saying the police. So now you get pulled over and you're dealing with the police officer for the first time. And this police officer has dealt with trauma. There's an officer who passed away last week at a traffic stop, so he's very tense. And now you're saying, the police, you don't know how to deal with them. I'm not answering no questions. Can you get out the car? No, I'm not getting out of the car. You gotta I've seen so many of these videos, and the reason why I was so quick to jump on this, because so many of our black mothers are in pain right now, will never recover because their children are dead because they didn't know how to handle themselves with police officers. And so it is important that we, as the older generation, we tell these young black men, regardless of how you feel about law enforcement, shut the f up and do as they tell you, so we as the adults, we can do what we need to do with litigation. We could do that. But
Wait, let me speak.
If you die, we can't replace you. We can't go to the law. There's no lawsuit that's going to pay for that. So yes, we have to teach the younger generation.
I'm ready to speak.
Please conduct yourself properly with these police officers. Make it home to your mother who works hard for you to provide for you.
So,
okay. Don't be a yes man, though. If you know your laws, my nigga, state your laws. If they on a weird type time after that, go with the flow, handle the shit, get your money on. It works 10 times out of 10. Then you start doing what they say. Corrupt cops want to be corrupt, let them be corrupt. Handle your business after that. But, my nigga, if you know the laws, only if you don't know your laws, my nigga, do as they say. I ain't gonna lie. But if you know the laws, my nigga, stand on business. A law's a law. It's in place for a reason. I'm stuttering and shit. It's in place for a reason. You mean? Now, if a nigga try to be corrupt after that, that's when you be like, all right, say no more. I got something for your ass. Other than that, though, no, I'm not shutting the fuck up, though. We not doing that. That's crazy.
I just want to add on to what you said. And I agree wholeheartedly. And my father, who grew up civil rights movement, Alabama, he had to sit down with me and my brother and had a real serious talk about, okay, so if you get pulled over by the police, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am,
Gotta
take
have respect,
your ID and your insurance out already and have it ready. Do not necessarily stare them in the eye, but actually just make sure that they know that you're paying attention to them.
Make their job as easy as possible.
Right? And make it as easy as possible for them so you can just keep it moving. That's what he taught me, and I have a black son. And one time he decides to go into a supermarket and take his backpack with him. I got a call. We have your son. He's been detained. Please come down and get him. When I got him, I had to say to you, listen, when you go into a store, you are not to carry a backpack with you. And he was like, why not? I said, because you're a black man. They are already looking at you when you walk in the store. And why would you have that backpack with you anyway? And of course I was questioning him and he's like, nothing. I'm like, okay, we're gonna talk about this when we get home.
No, I think you made a great point. It's important for us to try to identify all these pre-conditioned steps before you even get in the car. Growing up in Watts, you of course know about police, you know what to say, what to do, where to go. But at the same time, when I started driving as a teenager, I didn't have the opportunity to have this in-depth talk with my mom. My dad's not in the home. So I didn't have a conversation about what it meant to be a black teenager driving in the San Fernando Valley. I kept getting pulled over. Did I ever get a ticket? No. But it would be a series of like questions and I'll be interrogated and where are you going? What school do you go to? Oh, okay. And then they would fill me out and I would be let go. But that kept happening to me. And I didn't want to tell my mom because I thought I was doing something wrong. So I talked to my Hispanic friends in my class, my Latinx community, and I would ask them, like, are you getting pulled over? And they're like, no, I've never been pulled over. And I'm like, so it's just me. And then it's like these light bulbs that are clicking, and it's very scary to be alone by yourself, heart racing, handing over your ID and insurance, and it shouldn't be that. But I will teach my children, male, female, exactly how to navigate that process because it's more than just a quick tip. It's a life-saving skill, as you talked about.
So I'm on disagree, basically because I never got that, I guess, specific, explicit talk from my parents. Because again, like I said, I was brought up as a girl, so I think that kind of just mitigated that conversation. I don't know, I just never got it. Now, I mean, it's kind of funny. Like a week ago, my mom, she told me like, be careful, I was gonna go out. I was like, what you mean? And she was like, you look like an African, like ICE is out there. I was like, what? So I mean, that's not the police, but like still like government law enforcement, because like she was saying like, you're a black man, you look like an African man now, so just be careful. So that's like the most I've ever got. But yeah, as a kid, no, I haven't got like an explicit, direct, you need to watch out for them, nothing like that.
Yeah, the only reason I'm on somewhat disagree is because like I got the talk in like very piecemeal, kind of. It was like, it would be through just like circumstances. So for example, like I was in the car when my dad got pulled over once and then afterwards he was like, do you see how I did that situation? And then he's like, well, that's what you have, like that's how you should do it. Like I feel like he did it in a way where he just didn't want me to grow up being like afraid of the police necessarily. He expressed to me once I was an adult a lot more things that he went through as a child that were like really traumatic in that regard. I learned things over time, and that's I think why I'm just on the somewhat disagree. But we all have to learn that because it's just it's a reality for us.
Yeah, it's a reality. It's a survival tool.
Life.
Yeah.
I want to be like an example. I want to show people that they can make it. It's a mental thing. The way you sharpen your mind is how you achieve these impossible feats.
Once I gave myself the grace to learn and to understand that it's okay to fail, I can keep trying and try again. So now I just set the standard and the tone for everybody around me.
It really gives me joy, like to be building the life that like I really wanted and to be doing the things that I put on my vision board years ago. If no one's cheering for me, I know that like I'm cheering for myself.
As black men, we are brothers. Let's hug it out.
Yeah. Hey, it's up to us. It's up to us.
Love, brother.
That was a good job.
up, though?
See, that's what niggas do.
What's up, though?
Little quick, John. Eesh.
Imagine.
That's it. Eesh. That's it. 2 movements. That's the only hugging we doing. That was a good John. You mean Tank Top got my vote? I ain't gonna lie. Broski a good guy.